All right, man, we back. Marcy Sports Talk, we in the building, and there was a rumor that came around the other day that Blake Griffin is working out with Kyrie, Irving, and Kevin Durant. And I presume they probably somewhere in LA County. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Check out the Detroit Piston Talk playlist for more Piston videos, all right? So apparently it's a rumor going out there, not to use rumor strongly, that Blake Griffin is working out with KD and Kyrie. Now, a lot of people probably want to make the correlation that, we could trade Blake Griffin for Spencer Dinwiddie, but I don't think Blake Griffin has any trade value with 2 years, just over $70 million left on his contract. All right, Piston fans got this facade that you could trade Blake to Chicago and get this back. You could trade Blake out to Brooklyn and get Dinwiddie back. But until Blake can prove he can stay healthy or play at that NBA all-third team caliber before he got injured to begin with, if he could play at that level, then maybe you could trade him. But I think Blake Griffin is probably going to tag team on a veterans minimum with another team like Brooklyn and try to win a championship. I know Brooklyn is trying to Brooklyn is trying to bring in a third star for them. And that'd be perfect for Blake to tag on a vet minimum and get him 4 stars. So I don't envision Blake being traded over to Brooklyn. If that's the speculation, I think how he gets to Brooklyn is on a veteran minimum deal with the Pistons amnestying him. Now, last CBA had an amnesty clause. They're pretty much hoping that this year may have the same amnesty clause, and it means that a team can cut one player of his liking and it doesn't count against the salary cap. Now, it doesn't mean per se that one player, Blake Griffin, doesn't get their salary or what they owe. You just don't cut them and don't owe them nothing. No, Blake still gets his $70 million that's owed for him the next 2 seasons. It's just that it doesn't count against the cap. So you can see a situation where the Pistons will almost have $80 million in cap this offseason if they get rid of Blake Griffin. Okay? So that's something to look at as well. So I think Blake, at 31 years old, is at the twilight of his career. And I know people saying 31 is really not that old. Some professional athletes peak or start the climax at 31 years old, 30 years old. But with his knee injury and his history of knees coming into the league, I believe he's trying to tag team while he still can get up and down the court and win a championship. You look at guys like Denver. You look at places like Brooklyn. Look at the LA Lakers. You won't go back to the Clippers after how Steve Ballmer and Doc Rivers traded him after they said they wasn't going to trade him. So, at the end of the day, we'll love to have Blake here to pretty much, usher in and help develop a new young generation for the Pistons. Diambo, if they take Obi, they take LaMelo, or whoever they bring in, help develop those guys. But at the end of the day, it is a business, all right? The new Pistons GM says that Troy Weaver, I believe his name is, he want Blake and Derrick Rose here long term. But, if it make dollars, it makes sense. You can have $80 million in cap room. Don't mean necessarily you got to spend it this year. But, really, you can try to really go after Brandon Ingram, which I don't think they're going to move him now that, Zion is showing that he can't stay healthy. So, I mean, if you could trade him to Brooklyn, obviously you would. But I think it's a situation where he has no value, just like Andre Drummond. Even though he locked into an extended year, who won 36 in 1 year and $38 million on a cap? Nobody. Especially to a player that can't prove to stay healthy throughout his career. So, I mean, if he is working out with KD and Kyrie, if I'm a Nets fan and I'm looking at it, how does that work? Because the Brooklyn Nets' biggest issue is they don't have that rim defender in the back. DeAndre Jordan, he getting old. The Jared Allen guy, he got to put on some weight. And he just ain't really putting on weight that make him a threat out here. But he a good rim defender. But, adding Blake to the team, and Kyrie being injury prone, and we don't know what KD going to give him after he come back. I mean, it's a real crapshoot. It might be, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard all over again. Or it don't really mesh. Because at this point in Blake Griffin's career, he's better with the ball in his hand. All right? You see him, controlling the game from the wing, even with the Clippers, dribbling, handling it, distributing. He pretty much like a small forward now. He can't extend the range. He still can play above the rim a little bit. He can still play off the block. He a real skilled guy, But playing with Kyrie and KD, like, what truly would be his role? Would he roll off the bench with the second unit? Will he be a slasher? Will he be the spot-up three-point shooter? where they get up and down the court and throw lobs to him. So, I'm not sure exactly, whoever the new coach of the Brooklyn Nets is right now, Jack Vaughn, is, yes, the former NBA player, is now the interim coach for them. There's been some talks about Mark Jackson. There's been some talks about Jason Kidd. But really, I don't know exactly how he fits in, but it's an enigma in Brooklyn because you don't know what KD going to come back like. Is he going to be more crafty, playing out the post, the high post, more Kevin Durant-ish than he was KD-ish at this point? Will he be able to still step by guys? Would he be on low management the first year back? Really don't know. It'd be a lot of expectations. You put KD, Blake Griffin, and Kyrie on the same floor together. A tremendous amount of expectations. And at least they got two caliber guys that won championships in KD and Kyrie. But also they can add a third guy like Bradley Beal has been a rumor. They're looking for that third wheel to go with those two. And also if they could bring in Blake on the veterans minimum, they could really do some things. But to be honest, it's been some talks that Blake can really help hurt the development of young players. And I don't think that is true by staying in Detroit. I think what's true to the game is him developing guys and showing guys how to be professional. Him and Blake Griffin him and Derrick Rose pretty much been in the pinnacle of the game. They've been on top of the game. They've seen all the highs, they've seen all the lows and everything in between. And that's invaluable, lessons for guys to come in, whoever they are. If Diambo, you bring Wood back, you bring LaMelo in, you bring Cole Anthony in, you bring Obi Toppin in, James Wiseman. They got some of the best cautionary tales in sports. So you really want that intel to be going to your players, how to prepare, how to keep their weight down, how to really, handle themselves off the floor and not get in trouble. And really, D Rose and Blake Griffin has been two outstanding, citizens outside the court. Yeah, D Rose has a little issue where he disappeared in New York City last year when he played for the Knicks, but I think it'd be a great thing. But I don't envision us, packaging him and getting Dinwiddie. I think they're gonna package like Karis LeVert and Dinwiddie for, somebody like a Bradley Beal or Drew Holiday or somebody like that. I think, I think that's the God honest truth. I don't think they would be willing to really take on that contract Blake Griffin got. Now, had Blake Griffin been 100% healthy, and he was that Blake Griffin that played the first half of the year when he won NBA All-Star third team awards, I think they would be happy to have Blake Griffin. But at this point, I think Blake Griffin is untradeable unless you take him back a bad contract like a Chandler Parsons. So, I don't envision anybody really trying to attack that contract. Now, if they hold on to him this season and they wait till the 2021, 2020, 2022 season, then that contract becomes more, it becomes more sexy. You know what I'm saying? It becomes more valuable because it's a 1-year deal where somebody could dump a bad contract on you and that $30-something million come off the cap. And that's kind of how the Pistons did when they got Blake Griffin. We took the cap load for the Clippers. That enabled the Clippers to get Kawhi and who was it? Kawhi and Paul George. It enabled them to do that. So we took that salary on. So it's always a team that's looking to take a big salary like Blake Griffin on to really get cap space, immediate cap space the following, summer. So I don't see nobody, carrying Blake Griffin for 2 seasons. I think 1 season. So if you count on Blake to be traded, you probably gonna have to wait till the 2021, 2022 season. If he gonna get amnesty and that's the option with the CBA, then you look to see Blake just get cut, walk away, go to a championship contender, a team that's on the rise, try to win a ring in the twilight of his career, and the Pistons just get the cap space. So that's a lot of people thinking you could trade Blake Griffin. Don't nobody want that contract unless you're going to take a bad contract in return. A really worse one, to be honest. So I don't envision seeing Blake Griffin getting traded, but can I envision him in Brooklyn? I can see it, but it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of camaraderie issues. Kyrie, a funny type of dude. If they do bring in a third wheel like Beal or Holiday, I think Holiday is a better fit as far as his personality. Then, it's going to be interesting to see what coach can make that fit. And also, you'll have 3 guys, Blake, Kyrie, and KD, coming off an injury. So, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All my social media links in the description. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, or you just want to chop it up, all my social media links there. If you want to make a donation, Cash App, PayPal, inscription, best way to donate is share the video. Let me know what you guys think about the rumors about Blake Griffin, working out with KD and Kyrie. Could you see that working in Brooklyn? And what you think about it. One time for the one time. It's your boy, CJ Goodfellow, Mercy Sports Talk.